Are you dreaming of early retirement? And how far away is your financial independence goal? 5 years? 10 years? Even 20 years? Like most people pursuing financial independence, this journey can feel like an emotional roller coaster. While you're excited about future freedom, you're also facing the harsh reality that your destination lies far ahead. But there's a better way. Not a get-rich-quick scheme, but rather a new approach to financial independence that lets you enjoy more freedom along your journey. In this video, I'll show how we discovered this alternative path. I'll explain why it's better than the traditional approach, and show how the FIRE movement is embracing this direction. Plus, I'll give you a few practical tips to make this shift yourself. Okay, let's get into it. Let me share how our journey to financial independence began, the origin story of this alternative path. In 2018, during a vacation in Maine, my wife and I made a life-changing decision to pursue financial independence together. This week away from our stressful 9-to-5 jobs gave us clarity about our future. This was a crucial turning point, especially for my wife. I'd been passionate about personal finance for about 7 years, and we were already increasing our savings rate annually. But this moment marked our full commitment together. Thanks to our previous financial decisions, we had a head start. My calculations at the time showed that we were about 10 years to financial independence. My wife's toxic job sparked our joint commitment. What we didn't know was that she was just weeks away from her breaking point. Her body gave out, and she experienced severe anxiety and panic attacks shortly after our vacation. She ended up having to take a 6-month medical leave. When we committed to pursuing financial independence, we promised not to deprive ourselves. Even so, this wasn't the start we had envisioned. Looking back, while a 10-year timeline initially seemed encouraging, it was far too long to endure a toxic workplace. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. This challenging period transformed our perspective. We faced a clear choice: either continue in high-paying jobs to build wealth quickly, or listen to our bodies and choose a different path. And through this struggle, we discovered that our accumulated wealth already gave us options. We learned about Coast Financial Independence, the point where your investments are sufficient that even without additional contributions, they'll grow to reach financial independence through compound growth alone. Now, this was 6 years ago from the time of recording this video. Few people talked about it then, but today it's become an incredibly popular concept, and for good reason. This revelation lifted the pressure to maximize our earnings and gave us permission to live life a little differently. It's why we talk about it so much, because it has been truly transformational. For us, Coast Fi meant that we could maintain our goal of financial independence while also taking steps to improve our daily lives. Since retirement savings were now optional, my wife could work part-time while recovering from burnout. Back then, the financial independence narrative was strictly binary. You were either in the wealth building phase or you were financially independent. The FI community treated it as an all or nothing proposition. You were either FI or not, on or off, like a binary 1 or 0 in computer programming. We began to see it differently, which led us to coin the term slow financial independence, or SLO-FI for short. Inspired by the slow travel and slow food movements, which prioritize intention over speed, SLO-FI emerged as a new approach. SLO-FI means using the incremental financial freedom you built along your path to financial independence to design a life you truly love. Rather than racing to financial independence, we focus equally on the journey and the destination. That's why we say make the journey as remarkable as the destination. And we end our videos with enjoy the journey. This mantra reinforces our belief that financial freedom grows step by step. SLO-FI is an umbrella concept that covers all of the ways you can use your growing financial freedom to improve your life while pursuing financial independence. Each dollar saved and financial milestone reached unlocks new lifestyle options. Being debt-free lets you choose a more fulfilling job, even if it pays less. A solid cash cushion or FU money, enables sabbaticals or even mini retirements. And reaching Coast-Fi allows you to reduce hours or work seasonally. Every dollar saved gives you more freedom and flexibility along your journey. Our journey evolved from part-time work to self-employment and seasonal van life. These intentional choices have given us the freedom to work for ourselves, be location independent, and travel at will. Now, we've achieved this all without reaching full financial independence. While we're much closer than we were 7 years ago, we still have some ways to go. Our approach focuses on making small, meaningful changes along the path to FI so that by the time we reach full financial independence, it'll feel like just another day, since we've already built our ideal lifestyle. And how you use your growing financial freedom is entirely up to you. Some choose mini retirements or contract work to spend summers with family. The possibilities are truly endless. But more on those options in a minute. In the 5 years since we coined the term SlowFi, we've watched the FIRE movement shift away from its all or nothing approach. More people are openly sharing their decisions to downshift, and those who have reached financial independence often say they wish they'd taken a more balanced approach. Pete Adeney, or Mr. Money Mustache as he's often known, discussed this shift towards SlowFi when we hosted a meetup at Mr. Money Mustache HQ almost 2 years ago. Here's a clip of Pete describing this shift, and note this was completely unprompted. He was introducing Jess just before she spoke, and this is also why we don't have him mic'd up, because it was impromptu, but you should be able to hear him through Jess's microphone, and we've added some captions as well.
You guys did a great presentation last year, and it was like a lot of people they kind of talked about it for the whole year afterwards, and a bunch of great friendships were made and stuff. So for me, I have a warm memory of this. And of course, like the whole stuff you talk about seems to be where FI is going in general nowadays. Anyway, the whole idea of build a life that you don't want to retire from so that you don't have to do like cramming and saving a whole bunch and not enjoying it so that you can enjoy yourself later. So I feel like your message is right on point for the whole FIRE movement, what they're realizing should happen anyway, which is good. It corrects some of the harshness that Mr. Mustache is.
For those of you who don't know Pete, he's perhaps contributed more than anyone to the rise of today's FIRE movement. Many cite Mr. Money Mustache as their introduction to FI, and his brand name has become synonymous with extreme frugality, whether that was his intention or not. So it's pretty remarkable that Pete, of all people in the FIRE movement, is describing this shift towards SlowFi. So as the ones who coined the term, it's pretty reasonable to assume that we think this is the better approach. But here's exactly why we think it's better, and I'll give you 3 reasons. First, it allows you to make small intentional changes along the path to financial independence. Instead of waiting to build a life after you reach FI, it encourages you to start now. And if you tried making big changes all at once, you know how difficult that can be. It's much easier to take one step at a time. Second, it unlocks options that may not have otherwise been available. Just as Coast-Fi gave us permission to live life differently, using incremental freedom along your path can do the same for you. And third, it helps you stay focused on what initially drew you to financial independence: freedom and flexibility. The old way of pursuing financial independence meant grinding it out, focusing on frugality, and increasing your savings rate at any cost. All the things that moved you further from the life you were actually pursuing. The SlowFi path makes freedom and flexibility part of your everyday life, and you get to watch that grow as you progress on your journey. How do you make progress towards your financial goals while also building the life that you want? It starts with understanding that financial freedom is a spectrum with distinct financial milestones. As you progress on your journey and past these milestones, you unlock new options. Thankfully, we've already discussed the 5 stages of financial freedom and the options available at each one of those stages in this video right up here. Watch this video next to find practical steps to improve your life today. Thanks so much for watching, and enjoy the journey.